Oh,
Hello, my name is Linda Maduwura and I'm a CPA. I have spent the last probably 15 to 18 years of my career as an accountant and in some sort of role within the alternative investment practice. I have worked as an auditor for investment funds. I've worked for a fund administrator, one of the largest actually in the world, starting my career in Bermuda before I moved to San Francisco. I've worked for a multi-billion-dollar hedge fund in their back office. Most recently, I decided to start my own business, bringing a CFO solution to micro venture capital funds. Now, it's hard for me to even look back to see exactly why I started this business. But what I will say is I was forced to reflect on it when one of my friends asked me why. I hadn't really spent a lot of time, answering that question. So I had a lot of reflecting to do. And it ended up boiling down to, I think, one thing, which was as I had progressed in my corporate career, I found myself feeling increasingly straitjacketed to the point where I just didn't feel that I was able to use all of my talents. And looking back, I thought about a parable that I used to listen to in church all those Saturdays ago when my parents would take me to church. I mean, I hated it, by the way, but I listened. And the parable talks about how God took away the talents of the one individual. One got 10, one got 5, and another one got 1. But the one who had 1 didn't use it and saved it for the master when they got back, and so God took that talent away. And so I increasingly felt like if I didn't use my talents, I was going to lose them. And that fear to me was much greater than the fear of failing if I started my own business. And so I think that was one of the critical things that kind of pushed me over the edge. And then, really, when I think about some of the challenges I faced having started my own business, the biggest thing, and again, I'll go back to the fact that I worked since I was 19, the biggest thing was not having a paycheck. My validation had always come from I went to work, I showed up, I did what I was supposed to do, and in 2 weeks, my cash hit the bank. When I started, there was no cash hitting the bank. I was meeting people, talking to so many people. I was talking to anyone who would listen and facing a lot of rejection. I had to take all of that rejection and use it to funnel my energy and fuel my tank, so to speak, to be able to align the clarity of purpose for why I was doing what I was doing. I took a lot of the negative feedback and used it to make my pitch better, make my presentations better, and so that was probably one of the hardest things I had to deal with. Uh, and I'm hoping that this video will inspire somebody else to take on the challenge, because if I can, I believe anybody else can do it too.